Hey everybody, it's Crys'Dawna from Bella Renovare, and I am also a brand ambassador for Prima Marketing. Today I'm going to do a video to show you guys how to use the new modeling material. So the new modeling material from Redesign, okay, this is a little bit different than what they had before. It comes in a 2-pound jar. And what's really nice is it's broken up into these little tiny cylinders right here, okay? And so what I did, let me show you guys. This vanity behind me, I'm actually going to do knobs for my daughter. And one of the new silicone molds, it's really cute. Do you see this? So these were made. I already finished them. You can listen. So they're nice and hard. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to glue them on a knob, and then we're going to paint them and probably put some waxes and artisan powders and things like that. But I'm going to show you guys how to make these. What's really awesome about this modeling material is that it's air dried. You can air dry it. So you just put it in the mold, pop it out, and just let it sit. It can take up to 24 hours to dry and harden, but it doesn't always take that long. So this is the new mold right here. This one's called Curio Trinkets, okay? This is the case it goes in. And you've got all these cute, super cute little molds that you can do. And these fit perfectly on top of a knob. So whether you've got like an old metal knob or a wooden knob, what I did is I went and bought some ceramic knobs, and I'm going to glue these on top of the ceramic knobs, and I'll show that to you guys a little bit later. But first we're going to go over how do we put the modeling material in the molds, okay? And how do you pop it out? What do you do after you're done with it? How long does it sit? All that good stuff. So we're going to go over this. Super easy. The process is the same for all of the molds. So I've got, different molds right here, okay? In the garden, we've got these are new, okay? This one is in the garden. So it's kind of a flat, actually, let me see, I'll show you. So these are the in the garden ones. They're a little bit thinner, okay, in the garden. They're like roses and cuteness. So in the garden. And then we have the Italian Villa scrolls, okay? And I did one of them. It's a little bit bigger, okay? A little bit thicker. And then I also did these new Regal trimmings, okay? And here is a little piece. I only needed a little piece, so I did the Regal trimmings. So the process is going to be exactly the same for all of the molds, okay? You just some might be a little bit deeper than others, but it's going to be the same process. And the reason we're going to work on these is because I'm actually going to put them on this piece, and that way I can show you guys afterwards the final product of what it would look like, okay? Okay guys, so we are going to go over how to do these molds, okay? So the new modeling material comes in this 2-pound box, or 2-pound jar. It's non-toxic, it is air dried, okay? So it's inside this. It actually has a cap so you can reseal it, okay? You're gonna pull this off. It also is twist tied. This little twist tied comes in here. And then they're individually set right here in little cylinders. Pull this out. So they're individually set in little tiny cylinders. So it's really nice because then you're not having to pull apart a big huge block of material, okay? So it's really nice. They're very pliable once you start working with them and getting them a little bit warmer. So I'm actually going to just close this up because I have one already over here. I'm going to close that up for now, and I'm going to show you guys. So these ones are the ones that are hardened, okay? You can hear they're hardened. So they'll shrink just a little bit, but this is what they look like when they're wet still. So they're a little bit brighter. Once they dry, they'll be like a bright white. Right now, they're almost like an opalescent, but I did, let's see. These are all totally different from this mold, okay? This mold is the Curio Trinkets mold, And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put them on knobs for my daughter's vanity. And then, so we'll glue them on the knobs. And then once they're secure on there, we're going to paint them and put waxes and do all that fun stuff to them. So whatever you put them on, you could use them on mixed media. You could put them on furniture. You can put them on knobs, whatever you want. You're going to make sure that you use a good glue to glue them on there. So I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to make these. Okay. And then I'm going to go over a couple different molds here. So I want to try to make one that I haven't made yet. So I'm trying to look here. So this one goes here. That one went here. This one kind of looks like a little snowflake. This one was this one. This one's this one. That one's this one. So I'm thinking that the only other circle that I have that I can make, I guess I can make this one. I kind of like this one. I'm digging that one. So I'm going to set these all back over here. And you're going to set these aside and just let them air dry. And see, they're not like super sensitive. You know, they're not going to break apart once you're done. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to do a little at a time. And you're going to want to overfill it, okay? You're going to overfill it, and that way you know that it got deep down into that mold, and it's going to have all those little intricate lines and whatever, okay? Can you see that? All those little intricate lines. I know my light is kind of crazy. Here, let me turn this light off, see if that will help. Oops, hold on. Bear with me. Okay, that might be better. So all these little intricate lines, and that's why you want to push it down in there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is once it's over on this, I'm going to take my thumb and just kind of wipe it across. I'm just going to add it right onto that extra that I have. And kind of turn it, wipe it across. You're almost like leveling it out. Wipe it across. And there you go. So now that it's pretty even, can see that it's pretty even. It's not like a bunch sticking up. All you're gonna do is take it from the back and just kind of bend it and push it out, and you can, sometimes it'll pop out, or you can just gently pull it out with your finger, and voila, there you go. Okay, also, let's see, now that we're doing this, I'm just gonna do a couple other ones. This one I'm gonna show you the final product with this. Actually, 2, 4, 6, I need another one. So let's do, I have 8 knobs on my daughter's stuff. Let's do this one. So I'll show you another one. Okay. These are really cute. So again, push it in there, take your finger, kind of push across, okay? Oops. Make sure that it's flat, just flat. Push it out, pull it out gently, and there you go. Cute, huh? So I needed 8 of these. So let's see, we got 2, 4, 6, 8. So now we've got all 8 of these, and I'm gonna show you the final product later on in my blog post. But right now what I'm gonna do is show you guys how to use the other stencils, or the other silicone molds that are a little bit different. So those ones are smaller. So we are going to use, this is In the Garden, okay? This is called In the Garden. In the Garden, okay? This is by Redesign. And so I'm probably gonna need to pull another one of these out, but for right now, what I'm gonna do is, I think I want the rose. I may put the roses on my daughter's vanity as well. So I'm gonna pull these out, just do a little at a time. See, it's super easy to kind of work with once it gets warmer. So push it down with your thumb. Don't be afraid to push it down. Don't be afraid to use more than what you need. Okay, kind of push it around with your fingers. All right. Now, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the little knobs. You're gonna just kind of push it across. This might be a little bit more time consuming because it's a bigger mold. Push it across. These little sections. look, there's even a little stencil for redesign if you want to make yourself a little mold for that. I don't know if you would, but you could if you wanted to. Okay, so now I'm just gonna kind of rub it across because it is a bigger one. So I want to flatten it a little bit because it's gonna dry like this, and I want it to be more flat on the back. That way it sits easier on the piece that I'm going to do. So you want to flatten it. You could also even just flip it and kind of go like this to flatten it. Okay. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna bend it just like you did the other one, but you want to bend it all of the corners, okay? And either it'll pop right out. See this bend? You can bend it totally in half. See that? And it pops right out. And there you go. You've got a rose. Cute, huh? And I like to kind of do this to them so that they're almost kind of bent like that, because when they dry, they kind of curl up. So you can do that, or you can always find the place that you want to put this and then set it on there. You can take a piece of wood and kind of like push it down on the wood, you know, and you can monitor this. Okay, so for the next 12 to 24 hours, you can monitor it and kind of make it pliable the way you want. So if it starts moving up, you can kind of push it down a little bit. But this will help keep it flat if you put it on a totally flat surface. So what I did is I put it on this. So that is in the garden. That is kind of for like a flat, thin mold. And then these are brand new. So these are brand new. These are called Regal trimmings, okay? And this is kind of to fix if you've got trim that's messed up, or you want to add some trim, whatever you want to do. So this is a long one. It's not super deep, but it's longer. So we are going to, I'm trying to think of which one I want to do. Let's do the center one. I don't know, I might end up using these ones on my daughter's vanity. But, and you know what else you can do with these is you can make a bunch of them ahead of time and then kind of just store them, and that way you'll have them ready, because they do air dry, and so they're not ready for you right away. And so you may have to wait, you know, 12, 24 hours, whatever. And so it's kind of cool to make a bunch of these ahead of time, and that way you've got a stash and you kind of know, okay, like I made 10 of these, and so then you can go back and you don't have to wait after you've made them. So now, same thing, just kind of go across. Okay. And see, I've pushed some out of there, so you just put it in there and kind of lightly go across there. That's what's really nice about this new modeling material, is you can push it in there and it just kind of like syncs up together. They all sync up together. Okay. I'll just do it all on this side first. You gotta be patient and work in sections, okay? But it's so worth it. Okay. And just flip it. Okay, so for these longer ones, you're gonna wanna be a little bit more careful. You're gonna wanna pop it out with your finger. Okay, just kind of run your finger across. And you see this one broke apart. So what I'm gonna try to do is push a little bit more modeling material in there. See if we can just remate that area up. I kind of have a bad feeling about this one. So these ones are a little bit more tricky. So what you could do, you don't want to bend them too much. So what you could do is maybe flip it. Okay. And kind of flip it right here. Instead of going from one end to the other, you might want to pull it off like that. So I'm just going to bend it. This stuff is super bendable. So I'm going to bend it and hold it down, and then lightly, just kind of lightly pull it out a little at a time, and there you go. So if you do this part right here does not want to stay together. So you can kind of mash it together a little bit while it's still pliable. If for some reason when this dries, if this comes apart, you can always just kind of match it up and then glue it. And if you're going to paint it and stuff, nobody's going to know the difference. So what you're going to want to do is be careful with this one, put it aside, set it over. And then the last one we're going to go over is the Italian Villa. Okay, this one's heavy duty. This one's deep and big. So Italian Villa Scroll. Okay, this is another new one. This one is super ornate. I think it would look really pretty with a bunch of wax on it. Oops. So I'm just going to go in and kind of not even worry about it, okay? I'm just going to put it in there. Okay. And you can even like do this while you can pull some of it off while you're going, since this is a bigger mold. Just kind of pushing it all in there. Again, this stuff's super pliable. It kind of just meets up with each other. It's not, you don't have to worry about having like spaces and cracks. As long as you're putting enough pressure down, then it's good. Okay, so now I'm going to start from this side, and I'm just going to do it. It's the same thing for all of them. You just kind of lightly push it down. Let's start from this end. A little bit of this stuff goes a long way. You got 2 pounds of it, and there's tons more in there. And I've used quite a few. I've made a couple of these already, and I've only used 2 cylinders. You know, with these bigger ones, it takes a little bit more finesse. But it's so worth it, because you guys, this could transform your furniture, your mixed media, your signs, whatever it is. You know, this could help, you know, if you've got like a piece that maybe is missing molding, but you want it to have molding, then, you know, this could be the answer to that. Okay, so these have a couple little spaces, so I'm going to take this, kind of push down in there, push it across. That's all it is, just kind of molding it in there. This one. This little tiny part. Okay, so I think that's good enough. So now what I'm going to do is kind of the same as what we did with that one. We don't want to get too crazy and start flipping it from these sides because it is such a big piece. So we kind of want to just be gentle with it. Okay. This is a thicker mold, but it's still, you can still like fold it. So I'm gonna fold it lightly. Here, I'll do it this way so you can kind of see. So I'm gonna fold it, and then I'm gonna just kind of pull at each area lightly. This one looks like it wants to come out. So I'm just going to kind of meet it at the bottom. So I don't want this to break. There we go. And there you go. So again, it kind of came off a little bit right there. So you push it back together and voila. And there you go. So that's the Italian Villa Scroll. So with all of these, you're just going to let them sit in the air and dry 12 to 24 hours, and then you can do whatever you want with them. Glue them on a piece, paint them, put waxes, whatever you want. But that is how you do the molds by Redesign, and super easy. That's how you use the new modeling material. Okay, super, super easy to use. It's almost like a Play-Doh consistency, and this can help transform any of your artwork. So there you go, and that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also have a Facebook, Instagram, blog at www.bellarenovare.com, and I have a Pinterest, I have a Twitter, so please go subscribe to those channels. And thank you again so much for watching. I hope this helped, and I hope it transformed your guys' furniture.